How you doing, guys? This video is going to show you how to make the vanilla sponge slab that I made to make the olive cake. So continue watching and learn how to make this one.
Okay guys, to get started we want to line our trays that we're going to cook our sponge in. So these I've got 2 trays of the same size. I'm going to butter it and then flour it. And I've also got some baking paper underneath because I'm going to put that in the bottom as well, just to triple make sure that this is going to come out. So once I have buttered and floured, I'm going to add a little bit more butter into points and then place in the baking paper as well as a triple check to make sure it's definitely going to come out. Then what I want to do is separate my eggs from the white and the yolk. So of course, yolks are going to go into our bowl first because that's what we're going to mix first, and separate those whites. Be very careful not to get any of that yolk in your white or to prevent your white from frothing up and getting air, which is what we want in the sponge, to be light and fluffy. With our yolks, we're going to whack in the vanilla, and then we're going to add in some of the sugar, and I've separated the sugar requirement below in the instructions for you. Then you want to start whisking this becomes light and pale, kind of like mayonnaise. So it'll go yellow and then go nice and white like so, about a minute or so. Remove this from our mixer and make sure then you clean your bowl. So pop that yolky stuff into another bowl, clean your mixer, clean it with white vinegar. That's going to remove any fat that is remaining and ensure that your egg whites that you're going to mix next will be light and fluffy. So egg whites, some salt, and then we're going to start mixing so we get nice soft peaks. What is a soft peak, you ask? Essentially you want to be able to pull up the mixer and for the egg white to hold its shape and sort of fall over a bit. That's what we're going for, a soft peak. Once you do get to that point, then it's time to add the remaining sugar. So essentially you're trying to make a meringue here, so slowly add the sugar as you go and it should become nice and glossy. Let it run for about a minute. Once you've done that, it's time to add the egg yolks and the egg whites back together. And because you've gone to all that trouble of getting air into this, you want to fold your mixture and be very careful. Take your time, there's no rush because you've gone to that trouble, don't waste your time. Once you have done that, then you've got to add in your flour and your corn flour and be very gentle when popping this in. Don't whack it in because you're going to pump out all the air. Fold this and do it in 3 parts. Once you do have all that incorporated, then it's time to paste it into your trays. Find that you put a little bit in each and go back and forth, but you should essentially get 2 lots per this mixture. Make sure that once you do pop it in there, that you do allow it to spread out and to be even so that you don't have any sort of flow points in your sponge. So using either a cake spatula there that I'm using, butter knife, something nice and flat, and slowly work it out so it is nice and flat and even and going to the corners to get it nice and even when you bake. Of course, make sure that you do preheat your oven to the directions I say, no higher or it can burn. Then you've got your cake. Make sure you do test it with a cake tester, dry piece of spaghetti. That's it.
If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. It is the red one below you or in the link if you're watching on a mobile device that includes your iPhone, your iPad, your Android, all those fancy things. It essentially is not a computer. And we will see you all next Wednesday for another video recipe.